Welcome back, gang, to the first of the worst podcast. I'm Brendan Murphy.
And I'm Steve Arendas.
That's some bye-week rust there, Steve.
Right there.
I said it, and you kind of we do this over a video call, so you're looking at me, and you're like, finish your job. And I didn't, and then I did. So my name remains Brendan Murphy. His name remains Steve Arendas.
Still same names. We haven't changed it.
Same names. And we are here on a lovely fall day, which is not really relevant to you, the listener. As I said, bye-week rust.
Yeah.
I only bring that up because the Bears game is on presently, and we both just quit.
We're like, we'll just do it during the game. It's better.
The only reason I brought that up is because I wanted to give some frame of reference to that we were both like, And then as we were doing this, I was like, well, if they made a comeback, and Steve's response was great. He's like, I'm hitting the button. Like, that's not happening, you idiot.
Garbage. Speaking of some garbagey stuff, our list today.
It's what we do best, the garbagey stuff.
Our list today, we're going to talk about gym class activities. So I guess we kind of disqualified like real sports from gym class activities.
I mean, there are definitely some fringe sporty things on my list.
I have some like versions of real sports, maybe.
I mean, there's nothing you could like get a college scholarship for on my list.
Oh, actually, there might be one.
There is actually, now that I think about it, well, at least one.
But you know, that weird stuff you do in gym class that you basically never do at any other point in your life.
I actually did think of some area that might have overlap, and that is day camp or just camp in general.
Yeah. I guess yes.
Like field games would be like something that.
See, I like did some researching in gym class activities, and a lot of these games came up that like I feel like I played, but not really in gym class. So I didn't put them, but they very well could have made your list because other people probably played them in gym class.
Yeah, and also this was kind of a threadbare act. Like it was hard to come up with like 10 non-sport activities because even in gym class, you do play a lot of sports.
Yeah, for sure. I have some here that are arguably sports, but we'll see.
Oh, I definitely have. I mean, again, there's sports, but nothing that's on TV.
Also, I totally forgot like a really obvious one that I'm just looking at right now. So I'm just going to add that in. All right. Let's just start it up, Brendan. What's your number 10?
My number 10 is one that I really despise, and I just put on this list to just talk about it because I think it's something that really just breaks the self-esteem of a young man or a young woman, but more particularly a young man, and that is the rope climb.
Yeah, that's what for some reason was on my pre-list, and I just didn't write it down. So I won't even add it to my list. We'll just talk about it now because this is where it deserves to be. Is at the end.
Yeah. First of all, it's not a life skill or anything.
Well, unless you're like a survivalist.
Exactly. So not a life skill.
So I figured it out at once. So it was always the worst, and then I figured it out once, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is it's kind of awesome once you figure it out." Because it's not like there are like the kids who just have like crazy upper body strength that just like pull themselves up the rope with their arms. But yeah, it's your legs, and I figured it out once. I was like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" And then I got to the top, and I was like, "I don't know how to get down." So then it added like a whole nother level of suck. So I got like a rope burn and like fell pretty hard. so even when I like succeeded at it, it still sucked.
It still felt like failure.
Yeah.
That's a great endeavor. That's like probably how a marathon feels. Like I did it and I feel so shitty.
Oh yeah. I feel like people who run a marathon fall into two camps. People who just are going to keep running them forever, and people who are like, oh, no, that was just brutal and not really worth it.
I have a friend who ran one. He's like, it was ridiculous. It was the biggest waste of time of anything I've ever endeavored to do.
There's so much time involved. Yeah.
He was like, yeah, just imagine like on like a Tuesday, you have to go for like a 15-mile run. Even if you're capable, that's like 2.5 hours of your life.
Yeah. It sucks. And guess what? You're not doing anything afterwards.
No. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I'm not trying to belittle these people because I think I do see it as an accomplishment. But I think when you finish, you probably don't feel that great.
Well, I mean, you know what I say. It's harder to be an everyday flosser than to be a marathon runner. So I think we should start trying to become an everyday flosser and raise money for some charity.
Do you think they're better at flossing in Kenya too?
No, there's probably some obscure place where people are really good at flossing. Not England.
No.
All right, I'll get on to my number 10. One of my least favorite things to do in gym class. And it's kind of a lump up of a few things, but I just called it dance. So I like square dance and like ballroom dance. Did you ever have to do these things in gym class?
Yes. I don't know how did gym work for you guys in high school? Was it like for us it was for an entire 9-week quarter you did one gym activity.
All right, so ours was semesters, right? And then it's in each, so you could, well, there's multiple gym classes you could take. You could take a class called Physical Best, which I took once and sucked, and you just like worked out every day.
But you would kill to have that now as part of your everyday life.
Yeah.
That's the thing about gym class.
And the other class was just like regular PE. And then when you got into that, you got to choose a track. And like at the beginning of the semester, and like the seniors got like first dibs at a track. Right. And like the tracks were like different sports, right? Or like different activities. There's like 3 different activities in each track. And like the best track had like bowling or something like that. And everybody wanted to do that one and not do the one that had cross country skiing.
I mean, I remember my first day there being like, why is everyone lined up for tennis? My first period, my first day of high school was gym. And I was like, why do people want to do tennis? By the time I was a junior, I was like, hell yeah, tennis.
Yeah. So yeah, and that was what it was in high school. And then junior high, it was just like a big gym class and you did whatever. But yeah, dance. I don't think I ever had to do dance in high school, but it was more of a young thing. And I hated it first off because it sucks. And 2, when you're like a young boy, you have to like pair up with some girl and it's like this awkward, like I have to like ask a girl to dance out. I'm like in gym class in my fucking like gym outfit.
Yeah, I remember this. Another thing I remember about grade school PE is like, it was like, remember to wear sweatpants on Tuesdays.
Well, that was grade school. But then like junior high, we had like the uniforms we had to wear.
We didn't have those till high school.
Our junior high uniforms were brutal. They're so bad. And you had like the reversible shirts. So like when you played sports, like you would get on a team and they'd make you like reverse your shirt. You'd like, so like before gym class, if you didn't want to take your shirt off, you'd have to try to guess if you were going to be on the red or gray team.
It is just a painstaking.
And then there'd be like the super embarrassed kid who would like run to the locker room to turn his shirt inside out. But at that point, like that's more embarrassing than just like turning your shirt inside out.
Just own it.
That's like being the kid who wears the t-shirt in the pool. Like just be not.
Just own it.
Yeah, just own it. Like I don't have some body everybody wants to look at, but I'm not about to wear a t-shirt in the pool, or never in my life, even when I was bigger.
Well, now a t-shirt in the pool is like, not, I mean, like your kids will be constantly wearing.
Yeah, little kids now probably just do it all the time.
That like, it looks like Under Armour kind of stuff.
It's like a swim shirt. Yeah.
It's like a swim shirt. I'm like, well, you know, we made it this far. I mean, that's kind of that's like what older people say about children, but that is one where I kind of do feel like we made it this far with, you know, our parents didn't even have sunscreen.
Just throw some sunscreen on. It's not the end of the world, man.
Yeah.
So my number 9 is kind of along the same lines as these, and it's like Tybo / like workout videos. It's kind of along the same line as dance, except it's like more of a line dancey type thing. And it's just, you knew like just something, the gym teacher was just mailing it in for the day.
Oh yeah. So at Oak Park, we had the 9-week thing. So I had a 9-week dance class.
Oh,
it was kind of line dancing, but we also learned Thriller.
Oh, that's a line dance.
Yeah, I mean, it is technically a line dance. And that was okay. And then we had a 9-week. So you end up kind of doing everything over your 4 years, and you do swimming 3 times, which is just the worst.
Oh, brutal.
It's the worst. But I did do 9 weeks of step aerobics.
I remember having to do swimming once. I did do swimming twice. The first time, like they give you like a swimming assessment at the beginning of like your like track, and then they like filter you into different things. And I, like an idiot, like didn't tank it. So then I'm like doing like serious, because I can swim. I'm doing like serious swim activities. A year later, I just tanked that assessment.
Always say non-swimmer.
I didn't say non-swimmer, but I did about as poor as you could do without being non-swimmer. And like half the class, you're just like dicking around in the pool that way. It's way better.
Well, it's just, yeah. I mean, like being in the shallow end is just easier. You get to stand up. I mean, those pools, my high school, our pool, like at the deep end, was like 16 feet deep. Like,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
It'd be a lot more fun if, and like diving was never really a part. Like that would be more fun, maybe. I don't know.
I actually will touch on a swim class related
Okay.
to later on.
Okay, so we won't talk about that. I didn't put swimming in.
This one, the one I touch on. There's a few that are a stretch, but I have now one you might have higher up, but I just don't see what's so great about it. And it's for littler kids too. This certainly was not in the 9 week. You didn't have 9 weeks of parachute at Oak Park.
Oh, dude, parachute's so high. This parachute was awesome when you were little.
Why? What's so good about it?
You just do nothing and like it's cool. Like maybe I was smoking weed when I was in 2nd grade or something, which I was not actually, Mom, if you're listening to this.
You didn't fail.
No, but I don't know. It was just really cool. Parachute's cool, man.
I disagree. It's just boring.
I loved parachute.
Honestly, I'm more inclined to like parachute at this stage in my life because I don't like doing things.
See, I disagree. I would hate parachute now, but I loved it then.
Dude, you're probably going to be in a parachute the next year at some little tots class.
Yeah, but the kids will love it, so it'll be more fun.
Kids will love it. Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, so what's your number 8?
And my number 8 is Simon Says / Red Light, Green Light.
I totally forgot about these. I never really did Simon Says in school, but Red Light, Green Light, I feel like I did do. Yes.
And that to me is actually one that is like, oh, it's raining outside. We have to do something with the kids kind of activity.
Yeah, like they had something else planned, and it's like,
yes,
damn it, we have to do this now, right? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Red Light, Green Light sucked.
It requires way too much attention for me, you know.
All right, so I'm on number 8.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna get into one of the more the bigger ones here. And that is actually, hold on one second. We're going to take a little pause here because my computer's not charging, and that means it's going to die soon.
Okay. Man, I knew an Arizona receiver was going to have a big game. I just wish it was John Brown and not Larry Fitzgerald.
And I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I apparently plugged my computer into a light switch. Switch was off. All right. So
I hate that.
I'm on number 8.
Okay.
Which is now we're getting into some crappy shit. Not that my stuff before was good. I'm putting the presidential physical fitness exams.
Oh, way higher on my list.
You like them more?
It was cool. It was on Nickelodeon. Arnold was part of it. And it was like,
well, I didn't have cable, so I didn't even know that part of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, part of your deprived childhood was you missed out on Arnold telling you how important it was.
Well, like I never got the award because I sucked at the sit and reach, which is like the easiest part.
No, it's the hardest. No, I agree. it's the hardest part.
Like
it's also like one of the harder things to improve as a child.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like I was like, and I'm tall.
Yeah,
and you're tall. So then, like some like very short girl would do like 75 inches.
Like, what the hell is going on? Sit and reach is bullshit. And then, not to mention, like the other stuff's like not fun. Like mile run day sucks.
See, I actually put mile run as a separate entry because that's stood around longer than the presidential fitness.
Well, we can just talk about my next one is just running in general.
Okay,
but the other things in the presidential were like pull-ups, right?
Pull-ups, sit-ups.
Yeah, I was awesome at sit-ups. I'm still awesome at sit-ups, even though
push-ups weren't one. See,
push-ups were involved. Yeah,
I was awesome at sit-ups, and I was able to do full sit-ups like nothing.
Yeah.
You asked me to do like 5 full sit-ups right now.
You have some kid like kneel on your knees, right?
Yes. You can just all the way down, all the way up.
Yeah. And then what were the other things? Shuttle run? Was shuttle run part of that or no?
All I could think of is sit and reach, sit-ups.
Mile run. Was there a 50-yard dash or was that something else?
Dude, there might have been like jump rope or something weird like that.
Well, this blends into my next one, which is just running in general. Now, this would have been lower if it was just like mile run, or God forbid, 2 mile run.
Oh, we never had that.
Yeah, we didn't have it in junior high. I had it in like 4th and 5th grade. We did 2 mile run. You know how much that sucks when you're like in 4th grade to run 2 miles?
Oh, you know, those are the days that teachers love because the kids are just zonked.
2 mile run. We did a 3 mile run in 5th grade.
Was it optional?
No, like the whole school, like the whole
You're
grade.
getting
did it
to the
once.
place where it's like pretty hard to do if you're not in like above average shape.
Some people just walked it. It was like 3 miles. I don't know. It sucked. It was the worst thing. Running though, it wouldn't be number 10 because like I sneaky enjoyed like 50-yard dash day. It's like the combine. It's like your 40-yard dash combine day. It's the most exciting day of the year. Who's the fastest kid in school?
We had this thing called Olympic Day, which was the best. That involved a lot of that stuff. But it was a school-wide thing. It wasn't a gym class activity.
Gotcha.
You'd always get some obscure country. And like, so the first part of the day, you're making their flag.
We had a thing at the end of the year. I forget what it was called in junior high. We're so like our junior high, like you were broken into corps and you like kind of picked which corps you wanted to be in. And like you like had like one of them was more sciencey, one of them was more history. And like, I don't know, you did like weird different field trips and stuff. But so you only had classes with kids in your corps. The end of the year, you had this like competition day where you'd play like different sports against kids from like teams from the other corps for like a few days. And it was awesome. And people would get really into it. And it was sweet. But it wasn't like 50-yard dash. It'd be like 16-inch softball or like flag football and like real sports that didn't make this list. And it was awesome. But running, yeah, 50-yard dash day I loved. Even though like I was pretty fast, I was never like gonna be the fastest kid. But
okay, I actually have it now pulled up.
Oh, presidential?
Yeah.
What is it?
50-yard dash.
Okay.
600-yard dash, which can't be that much.
Hell?
That might be a mile, right?
No, 600's a lap and a half. We did not have a 600-yard dash.
Okay, so this might be what it currently is.
Yeah.
Standing broad jump. I feel like I remember that.
Yes, I do remember that.
Pull-ups, sit-ups, and I feel like I remember this too. Softball throw.
No, I did not do that because I would have killed it and I would have remembered it. And we did not have softball throw.
Well, that's what it presently is.
You're a little younger than me too, though. Maybe some of these things came into play then. They don't have sit and reach.
Oh, they did have sit. I didn't read the ones we talked on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they. Oh no, they don't have sit and reach on here.
Oh, I would have dominated this one. This is
sit and reach was definitely on there.
This is some soft ass millennial shit that they're doing right now. Throwing a softball. Come on.
It's like a biscuit. It's like
what's that? Kick a soccer ball? Like what other events do they have?
Okay, I just read them all to you in order. 50-yard dash, 600-yard dash, standing broad jump, pull-ups, sit-ups, softball throw.
No mile.
No mile.
Oh man. We might need Donald Trump to win this election. That's because I'll tell you what, Donald Trump is not giving out awards for those. That's a Bernie Sanders presidential fitness exam.
And everyone gets an award in the Bernie Sanders.
Just for trying. All right. Yeah. All right. What's your
in
number?
Socialism, there are no winners and losers. There are just equals.
People. We're all people. What's your number 7?
My number 7 is kick the can / steal the bacon. These are essentially the same thing.
Okay, so I talked about this the other day. I've never played kick the can in my life. I don't even know the rules.
Okay, did you see that episode of Togetherness? Where they
so this is why it came up with me. And it's like, what? So is kick the can different than capture the flag?
Well, yes, because if you kick the can, it's over.
So you don't have to bring it back.
You don't have to bring it back.
But like, what's stopping? So I was watching that episode of Togetherness. Like, what's stopping someone from everybody from just standing right in front of the can?
There's like a free zone around it.
Oh, you can't get too close.
It's like a no charge zone.
Okay, so they have to stay around that circle so you could cut in.
Yes, you can't just like all huddle around the can.
Oh, so this is the part I didn't understand.
Yeah,
from somebody who's somehow never played kick the can.
It's not a very big one. It's maybe the size of like. Actually, the no charge zone is kind of a pretty good It's a pretty good corollary. So in European kick the can, they don't even have it.
It's a trapezoid.
It's a trapezoid.
I think, yeah. I loved that episode of that show, by the way.
And
when does that show come back?
If it is that show coming back.
What? You can't leave that show. I need to know what happens with the biggest villain on TV, David.
In the end, that woman just leaves her husband. So it would just be called apartedness. Loneliness, actually, would probably be the better. It was just called life.
Basically, the show was called Togetherness, but it was about loneliness. But
yeah.
Right. What's your?
I have one aside.
Okay, go for it.
Totally unrelated and more sporty than we want to get, but why is Paul Gasol playing in this Eurobasket thing and playing like 40 minutes a game? I saw that he scored 40 points and I was like, good, I guess. But like, how much more does he have in those legs? Why is he playing?
I don't know. He's going to be bitching like halfway through the year, I hear this year, about Hoiberg because he didn't sign with the Bulls to run.
He would not pass the presidential fitness test.
Well, no, he'd take a nap halfway through because he's Spanish.
He'd take a siesta. You're right.
I'm just going. I'm gonna be having to wear a "Make America Great Again" hat the next time we record this podcast.
You'll fit another Trump thing.
I know. All right, what is your? Are we on your number 6?
Yeah, this is what happened when you moved to Wisconsin.
Oh,
just like you went over the state line and you were like, I feel like I like Mexicans less than I did yesterday.
Oh, I love Mexicans. So that's not true at all.
I mean, you know that was satire.
I know.
I wanted to point out that Steve does not actually like Mexicans, and oftentimes gets confused for one.
Yeah, well, not when people see me really, but
I actually, with your name horrendous, I was like, it could go either way.
Yeah, we used to get telemarketer calls in Spanish. Back when that was more of a thing. All right, what's your number 6?
This is a new game that actually wasn't around when we were doing gym, but when I was a summer camp counselor, I discovered it.
Okay.
And I know gym classes have it now, and it's called Gaga.
Whoa, what is that?
Okay, it's actually quite awesome. So there's a rectangular. You build like a wood, or I don't know exactly. It's obviously in gyms they can take it down and put it back together pretty easily. It's just a square that's about 4 feet high, probably 3 feet high.
Okay.
And you hit the ball off the wall. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then if you get hit with the ball, you're out. And it's a kickball. Okay. And if you catch someone else's, they're out.
Okay.
So it's kind of like dodgeball, but it's got like self-contained and there's angles to it and there's a ton of luck to it.
I don't totally understand it, but it sounds kind of cool. It's one of the things I feel like I'd have to see if I saw it.
Like you have maybe we could maybe we'll put this on our page, a YouTube of it. It is fun. You need to know that you need to play the angles though.
So it's like almost like an inverted racquetball type thing crossed with dodgeball.
Yes, but there's like 20 people in the square.
Okay, gotcha.
So it has some racquetball to it, but in racquetball you want to hit the ball back.
Yeah.
I'm
intrigued. I'm intrigued.
It's a variant of dodgeball for sure.
I'm intrigued.
But the space would be the thing that changes it up.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up. I'm intrigued. Gaga, just like it sounds, like the baby.
Like lady.
Okay. Yeah.
Gaga. Yeah.
Like lady. Okay. Cool.
Is she on American Horror Story this year? I just saw a commercial.
I don't know if she's actually on it or what.
I was like, that would be some false advertising.
She like sneaky lives in Chicago now too.
Yeah. Why is that again?
Because her husband is like the star of Chicago Fire, they're engaged or married. I don't know.
And that show's still going, huh?
Yeah. They have a spinoff, Chicago PD.
That's a spinoff of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
They might be looking at another one. I think they're doing Chicago Med or something.
Wasn't that just called ER?
Yeah, it's actually a great idea to bring that show back. Not that I would watch it, but I feel like it should be on TV still.
Star Maker, ER.
Yeah. All right. So I'm on my number 6. And this is one I put kind of in the middle because when I was young, I was way more into it. But when I got older, I wasn't into it. And I put tumbling/gymnastics.
Okay, see, I disqualified this one actually.
Because like a real sport.
Because it's a real sport. It is something that you would not really have anything. You would not really be able to do outside of gym unless you were involved in it, though.
Yeah, no, I understand this one being DQ'd for sure. This is the one I was like, it might be a real sport. But like, when I was just like running and doing like when I was a little kid, I'm just like running and doing somersaults. Like that's not a sport.
Dude, it was cool. You had we had
The big mat.
We had the horse too, like the thing that you have to jump on.
Yes.
But instead of like doing a bunch of, you actually
just jumped over it.
Just jumped over it and felt awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I just like to also just have it when you had the big mats out. It was always fun.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
That's why I put when I was young, and then when I got older, I wasn't so that's why it's more of a middling one for me because I really liked it when I was young, and then I got older, I didn't like it so much.
Yeah, the novelty of jumping over something that you're.
Yeah, it's not as good, and you don't get as much bounce when you're bigger. When you're a littler kid, that thing really flings you.
Well, when you're a littler kid, you're the size of an adult gymnast. So.
Yeah, exactly. So my number 5 is also a weird thing that you do in gym class, and I remember doing it a few times. It's crab soccer.
Okay, I saw that listed on some of the things I was looking at, but
you never play. You don't know crab soccer?
I don't really know it. No.
You're a crab walk.
Like
where you like walk like, your butts towards the ground.
You're inverted.
Yeah, your hands and feet. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. And you play soccer. And like the goal is like you don't have to worry about kicking it high. It's a pain in the ass. But you can do it on you could do a few games, usually go at once because you don't use like the whole gym because it's too big. Right. So it's like you go like the width of the gym instead of like the length or whatever.
As you discussed it, I'm just thinking about the core strength I don't have to play that game right now.
Yeah. No, it would be brutal right now, I feel like. But when you're a little kid, it's easy and it's fun. So then we're on your number 5.
We're on my number 5, which I touched on swimming earlier, which was brutal. It sucked.
So you got to tank that.
Every time that I did it, I lost weight though because it's a lot of activity. And I just think the one thing I was kind of getting into earlier about gym. Now, if someone's like, "Yeah, you have a 50-minute period in the middle of the day where you're mandated to work out," now I'd be like kind of excited about that.
Yeah, it would be amazing. Yeah,
like your schedule doesn't really. Now it's like you have to make time in your schedule for it.
Yeah.
But while you have it in your schedule, you just can't stop complaining about it.
Well, here's the thing. I never complained. I love gym class. I'm not one of the kids who hated gym class. I love gym class. A lot of these activities are weird, but a lot of times you got to play real sports that I really liked. So
I guess I loved it up until I had to do it every day, and then I was like kind of in a fuck this mood about it.
I had to do gym class every day of my whole life until
Yeah, I did middle school through high school. We had one semester where you got a gym waiver because you were in driver's ed.
Oh, you didn't have to before middle school either?
We had it, but we had it like once or twice a week.
I feel like I had it every day. I could be totally wrong about that, actually. But yeah, no, in high school, you could get out of it if you played a sport.
Oh, yes. Yes, that was definitely a thing.
Which I did it once or twice, I think. Just because I got it was because I had gym first period, so that I got out of it, and then I got to show up to school an hour later.
Yeah, of course.
So you obviously take it in that situation.
Always.
That's why I did it, I think. Yeah, which is awesome.
Okay, so I digress. So swimming sucked, but on Fridays in swimming, they would bring out the basketball hoops, and there'd be no holds barred water basketball.
That's amazing.
And it was fun, and it was like a great equalizer. Because I'm not very athletic, but I am pretty big.
Yeah.
So I was like pretty good at water basketball. Terrible at real basketball.
Yeah, no, water basketball is great.
Yeah, and since it was not teams, it was every man for themselves, so it was just like beat the shit out of each other.
It
like,
wasn't.
Every single time it was played, someone got like a bloody nose.
It was like a giant game of 21.
Yes, and it was amazing.
That is amazing.
With like 2 baskets with like 15 to 20 kids at each one. And like even the loser kids who are unathletic, which kind of was me, like give a shit about water basketball. So everyone's trying pretty hard.
It's just pool games. Yeah, pool games are great. That's awesome. Water basketball would just be a great gym class.
We also had water polo sometimes.
That's harder though, because you're in
it is harder.
You tread water.
And like you need to be like pretty good athlete to do it.
Yeah, water polo is not an easy thing to play.
No, and I don't know how they did it in my high school because there was a shallow end and a deep end to our pool.
Did you maybe just go like width of the pool and the deep end?
That's probably what they did for the actual. Like, I mean, we had a great swimming and water polo team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I mean, like, no one goes to watch the great swimming and water polo team.
No, not at all. All right, what's your number 4?
Mile run. I loved it when I was a kid. I always looked forward to it.
Nightmare day for me.
It's funny because now, like, you tell me I got to run, which I do on occasion. Not excited about it.
No,
I've
never been excited about distance running.
I went for a run at 6 a.m. this week on the Lakeshore Path.
Look at you.
Let me tell you, that's where the winners are.
Oh, yeah.
If you're running at 6 a.m, it's not like the night crowd. The night crowd's full of a lot of like fatties drinking Starbucks Frappuccinos. Like
while
I love, and I don't want to. It's oftentimes like two women who are like walking along the lake in all their exercise clothes while drinking Starbucks.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I hope this does not count as your exercise.
The only people I hate more than that was when I would go to the gym at the old office and it'd be these two women on treadmills next to each other, walking slowly, talking. And I'd be like, it's nice out. You could just go for it. Like, you're not like even going fast enough to get a workout.
Like a 3.
They were going like a strolling speed. Like, you could just go outside and go for a walk, get some fresh air, and not.
Yeah, because there's a limited quantity.
Yeah.
Or there's the guy who's like walking and he's so into that episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Like the rerun.
Yeah, like it's not.
I'm just there to get my TMZ fix. Like, that's what's happening. But I haven't watched TMZ in weeks now. I have no clue.
Is that stressing you out a little bit?
That I don't know what's going on in the TMZ world?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
You feel disconnected.
Well, God knows, Kardashians have probably done so much in the last 2 weeks. It's probably a new one I don't even know about. Like, maybe Tyga's a Kardashian now. I
think that he definitely hit it. Like, it was rumored before, but now it happened.
All right. What number are we on? Am I on my? We on my number 4?
I did number 4, so it'd be you with 4-3, right?
Okay, yeah. Number 4 for me. It's another form of running. Sometimes different kinds of running. It was relay races. I was big into relay race day.
Was it straight up relays, or was it relay races where you had to do like kind of obstacle type things?
Weird stuff. It wasn't just running. It would be like different kinds of running. Like, I don't know. You'd have like, yes, it'd be different, like a mat or something. You'd do like a tumble at some part of it. Like, I don't know. And then they would just change it each race, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed the team aspect of it. And I'd always want to be like the last guy to go.
Dude, that's like, I mean, we still like that, like Beer Olympics.
Yeah, same type of thing.
Sort of relay.
Yeah, same type of thing, except now like the drunk version. Oh, also, I forgot back to my running. I forgot the worst running thing you had to do, and I forget what they called this. But in high school, it was like there was this thing. It was like an interval thing, and there was like beeps they would play, and when there was a beep, you had to run to one side of the gym and back before the next beep, and you had to see how many times you could do it. So like it would be like beep, you ran to the wall and back, right? Yeah. And then when the next beep happened, you did it again. But if you didn't get back before the second beep, you were out.
Okay, it kind of sounds like suicides in a way.
Yeah, but it was like this timed thing, right? Where like if you were smart, you'd go like not that fast at the beginning. Like ideally, you just kind of be jogging
back fast enough to make it.
Yeah, exactly. It was brutal. And you like get graded on it, and it was not cool. So that was just my digression back to running. All right, now number 3, we're going to a all-time gym class classic. That's dodgeball.
Okay.
Dodgeball. I love dodgeball. I know some people probably didn't like dodgeball. I think dodgeball's pinnacle for me was probably like 5th grade. So dodgeball is like women's tennis to me. Like, it's like tennis, where it's like women's tennis is like more enjoyable to watch than men's tennis sometimes. Because, like, I don't know, the ball doesn't go quite as fast. You can tell what's going on more. Like, longer rallies.
Yeah.
More like even playing field.
People break serve.
Yeah, more even playing field.
It's just like, although it's not really that even.
But, like, when you get, like, in 5th grade, like, the kids who are as bad aren't so much worse than, like, the good kids, right? Like, when you get to, like, high school, you're just people just throwing, like, missiles at each other. Like,
that's why they probably don't do it in high school very much.
They don't do it near as much in high school. But a lot of different iterations of dodgeball. And I was wondering what your favorite kind of dodgeball
So
was.
I actually had bombardment.
What is that?
Okay. It can be played with 6 baskets.
Okay.
Hoops. Mm-hmm. Like the standard gym at my school had
the
hoops on each end. Yeah. Hoops on each end and then side hoops.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember how that part worked. Or it could be played with just 2 hoops. So you had footballs that you could throw through the hoops, and that was a jailbreak for your team.
Okay, so this is exactly basically where I'm going, except we didn't call it bombardment. It was just like one of the kinds of dodgeball we played. And there was no footballs, though. You just had to throw the actual dodgeballs through the hoop.
So they were Nerf footballs.
Okay.
Which was kind of fun. Although those are way easier to get through the hoop.
Yeah. So we just throw the actual dodgeballs through the hoop. It was the same thing. And then everybody's back in. So like when it would be like 7-on-2, you were just gunning for the hoop.
Yeah, you had a chance.
Yeah, like if you could get one, and it was much easier to make a dodgeball through the hoop than like a basketball. Because if you like hit the backboard,
it was going in.
You had a pretty good shot if you hit it on the backboard of it getting it in.
No, there might have been something in bombardment where if you hit the backboard, one person got to come back in.
Oh, something like that.
Now that I think about it, I think that was part of it too.
Yeah, there was all kinds of different rules or whatever. I think we played once with a basketball and it was a half court shot. But like it was like allowed to be taken. Like you couldn't, the person with the basketball like couldn't be hit, and I hated that one. It wasn't as good.
Yeah, well then that makes it a free throw.
Yeah, but it's a half court free throw.
Yeah, I mean it's not the easiest shot.
Yeah, dodgeball, and then we got older in gym class and we'd play I didn't like dodgeball as much once you got to the point where like there was no middle line, when you could cross the middle line.
Well, you could cross the middle line, then it's just free for all.
That's how it is now if you play like in an adult dodgeball league, which I don't do. So like there's not it's like there's two lines. There's a middle ground where everybody can go.
Okay.
Right? So like you can go only up to the second line away from you, and the other team can do the same thing. So there's like a no man's land in the middle.
The netherworld.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like dodgeball as much at that point. I liked just the straight line.
No, I'm in agreement.
Just draw the line, and because it was so great, it's like when you get right up to the line, you're really taunting the other team. If you just stand up there. Yeah. So dodgeball, classic game. What is your number 3?
My number 3 is bombardment.
So it's the same thing, and that, like I said, that was basically my exact same favorite version of dodgeball.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just didn't call it that. Yeah, I loved it.
I had to think all week about what that was called. And I thought of it yesterday. And I was so yesterday felt like a day where I accomplished something in my life because I remembered the name of that thing.
I loved that game. It was fun. I'd play that today.
And number 2, we touched on it pretty extensively, the President's Fitness Challenge. Arnold was really behind it.
See, I don't remember that.
This was in the George H.W. Bush era.
Yeah.
And Nickelodeon was always talking about it. And, I mean, it was cool.
Yeah.
You're hyper competitive, though, so I could see how it would bother you that, like...
I couldn't do a sit and reach, and there was really nothing I could do about it.
Like little Holly Thomas beat your ass at sit and reach, and you just could not get over it for weeks.
Because, like, to get the presidential the actual award, you had to hit a certain, like, threshold at each one, I believe. Right? And I could never hit it at sit and reach. Which is, like, the one thing that was, like, I can't, like, try harder to get the sit and reach. You know what I mean? Like, it's, like, the one thing you can, like... I guess you can't, like... You can only be so good at pull-ups, too. I was never good at pull-ups, but I was, like, just good enough. Some years.
I never did pull-up.
Depending how...
I don't think if I ever did a pull-up in my life. I definitely did not do a straight-up pull-up. I might have done the backhanded one. That doesn't count, though.
The chin-up. I call that a chin-up. Yeah. Yeah. At different points of my life, my weight just fluctuated wildly. So at my skinnier points, I was much stronger. Well, not much stronger. I just had less weight to pull up with the same amount of muscle, probably.
That is how physics works.
So that was your number 2?
That was my number 2. So those 2. So we were at,
so my number 2 we've already talked about. You had much lower. It was parachute. Because like I know it's hard to explain, but when I was a little kid, parachute was just the coolest thing in the world. I don't know why. It was just so cool to be inside the parachute. Where you do the thing where you plume the parachute up in the air and then like sit on it and everybody's inside. So cool.
So I actually did parachute last year. I went to a 30th birthday party. So the night it was a double bill.
Mm-hmm.
The night before we went over to Burwood Tap and just got hammered.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I mean that's like a pretty standard thing. And then the day it was Memorial Day weekend, and the day after that, so it was a Sunday of Memorial Day. It was field games at Montrose Beach, and this girl's mom is a teacher, and she brought the gym teacher from her school in Ohio to run like field games for 30-year-olds.
That's kind of funny.
So it was pretty fun, but it was like kind of competitive. Like people were still into it, and I was like, I'm kind of the same person I always was in gym class. Can't we get drunk too? Like, my team was like the let's have fun team.
Yeah, I have to mentally at this point in my life, like certain events, I have to be like tell myself I'm not really doing this. I have to like keep telling myself I shouldn't care. It's hard.
Yeah, I know.
That's what me when I played kickball, like the last couple seasons, I had to be like, this is just kickball. Let's not be that guy. I had to take like 4 years off of kickball because of my performance during a championship game once, which to be fair, we should have won and we got screwed. And I made the last out of the game at third base and the referee did not see it. And then they won the game on the next play. And it was a woman referee and I yelled a lot and it was not my best day. But to be fair, this guy was there. I don't know. This was before we were married, so it was more than 4 years. To be fair, I tagged this guy out twice. I literally spiked the ball on his back when he was laying on the ground, when he dove back to third base and was a foot away. I spiked the ball off his back, put my arms in the air because we had won the championship. He got up, ran home, and they called him safe.
Oh, so the play, that was the result of the play.
Well,
it wasn't even like they got an extra out in the next play. Oh, that
tied the game, and then the guy hit a home run the next play, the next pitch.
A walk-off championship kickball home run. Does it get any better?
And I literally, in my head, celebrated the championship.
Yeah, I mean, that's like how Miami fans felt in 2003 when they had 10 seconds before the PI was called. And they threw the flag out and Ohio State ends up winning.
Oh, I thought you were going to compare it to the Cubs versus the Marlins.
Oh. Well, no, they just felt that way because the Cubs blew it.
It was brutal. But it was like the worst call. And I flipped out of this lady. And I was like, I can't be that guy. I have to stop for a while. So when I came back years later, I was like, you're just not going to care. I mean, I still cared a bit, but I was a lot when I went into it being like, this is kickball. It's not like a real sport.
We have your number one, but this is honestly segueing into my number one.
Okay.
So my number one is kickball. Maybe you don't qualify it as gym class because you still play it. I forgot that you still play it.
Oh, here's the thing. I actually never played gym. I don't think I ever played really kickball in gym class. I played it at recess all the time. I never
was standard recess and gym class activity. So maybe
a lot of recess. So I just didn't consider it.
Blurred the line here by putting it there, but
no, it's totally acceptable.
Kickball was, like you had your own field at home school. We had like a pretty short right field porch, which was the grass, but you could catch it on the grass.
I love all the time when you say the name of your school because it makes me think that you were homeschooled.
Holmes. It was Oliver Wendell Holmes School. When I was homeschooled, me, Sean, and Kara, I was really quite good.
And our imaginary friends.
My mom was administering the president's physical fitness exam.
You always say homeschooled and first homeschool, and I always think you're saying you're homeschooled.
No, and then I went to Ralph Waldo Emerson School.
Oh, look at that.
So, yeah.
A famous name there on that one. Yeah, kickball would be a great gym class. I think I played it like twice in gym class, so like I didn't really qualify it.
Yeah, but it's just a great game for that era.
Oh, it's a great game. This is why like games like Foursquare didn't make my list because like I never really played that in gym class. I played like at recess.
Also, it sucked.
I was into Foursquare for like
we had something called Keep It Up, which was way better, but not that much. It was like Foursquare, but you had to throw it.
So it was like Foursquare volleyball hybrid,
and you had to jump while you caught it, so you could be guilty of traveling.
Oh, okay.
So while you were touching the ball, your feet could not be on the ground.
In my neighborhood, we played something of that nature, but it was like with basketball hoops and with teams, and like we would take turns, and it was like you could only score by tipping the ball in.
Homemade games are the best.
It was like, so it came from 21, because you know how when you play 21, if you tip a guy in, at least this is how we played, that he would go down to 0.
Yeah.
So it somehow just melted into us just wanting to tip in. And then we'd lower the hoop so there was like tip dunks.
Yeah, I mean, but tip-ins were liberally applied. Basically, it was a putback.
No, you had to be in the air, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a tip dunk, though.
Putback than like a...
But like you could like tip in from like the free throw line if you time it out, right? Like as long as you caught it and as long as you like caught it in the air and released the ball while you were still in the air, it counted. Like that. Which was great. But then you always risk doing that, like somebody tipping it in your tip in, and it was the whole thing. So my number one gym class game, I just specifically scooter hockey, but basically scooter anything. I was all about the scooter life.
I was trying to really think of times we used scooters, and I know we did, but I don't have like a concrete
scooter hockey
memory of scooter hockey. Yeah, because I knew you were going to say that at some point on this list.
Scooter hockey. Do they still let kids play on those scooters?
Because of liability, maybe not.
They seem incredibly dangerous.
Why would you say incredibly dangerous? Maybe for fingers.
Yeah. Like breaking fingers and like, well, I'm not including the kid who like thinks he can skateboard on the scooter, who's definitely falling off. And
well, that kid's just going to do something stupid at every level of his life.
Like the kid Marty Fassbinder who jumped off the bleachers and tried to hang on the rim at our school and like broke his arm.
Yeah, that kid, or like the kid, he's going to swallow a watch battery just to prove that he can do it. Like, just put it in his mouth, and then someone's going to be like, "Oh my god!" and he'll swallow it and get. We had one of those.
But yeah, scooter hockey was the best. You do like these like sawed off like floor hockey sticks, and just
yes.
And you had to like there was no like correct way to sit on the scooter. Like there was like different strategies, right? People would like kneel on it sometimes, but I felt like the best way was to sit at your butt on it and kind of just play it backwards.
Yeah, and then your feet are on the ground.
Yeah, and you can scoot. You can go way faster that way. Might not be able to get as much power on your shot. Oh, but then there'd be like the kids who would kind of like lay on it and run, which were clearly cheating. Which lead me back to relay races. One of my favorite things about relay races was like calling out people for cheating. People always cheated at relay races in grade school. Huh?
You must have been a real piece of shit with anything competitive when you were in fifth grade.
In my whole life.
Like, Jess is not going to allow you to coach any of Braxton's teams.
Oh, are you kidding? I'm definitely going to coach stuff. We're gonna
you're going to be able to do Shoshana's because it'll be girls' sports and you won't take it as seriously.
Oh, you don't think I will?
That's a challenge. 4 years from now, I'll be in Madison for a T-ball game, and you are going to be into it. You're going to have eye black on and dip.
No dipping or eye black, but we're keeping score. Even if like what I'll do is I'll just tell the kids they won when they won at the end, even though we're not supposed to keep score.
Oh yeah, you will definitely be keeping score.
That's it. Like people like freak out about like how all kids get trophies. No.
Yeah.
Didn't that happen when we were kids?
We always got a trophy at the team party.
Yeah, you always got a trophy, but you got like a bigger trophy if you came in first place.
Well, yeah, I mean, like if you spent a year with a team, there was usually some sort of banquet, and they gave you a trophy.
Or so in Little League, we got like if we didn't win, you got like a medal. It was like a medal, like a running medal, right? And it had like a baseball and bat on it. But if you won, you got like a trophy. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Even as a competitive person, I don't think there's anything wrong with like giving the kids like a small trophy. Like they know the difference. They know it's not like everybody's getting the same trophy. They know the difference. It's got this trophy because they played.
Honestly, pacifying a kindergartner is the reason that probably started.
Yeah.
Just to be like, so this kid won't bitch. Just shut him up.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. They know that when you're a kid, you didn't get like the big trophy. You want the big trophy. You didn't get the big trophy.
I mean, I got the sportsmanship award, which is like you're the oldest kids on the team, but you're not very good. Like, I got that, and I'm a horrible sport. I'm a dick.
Speaking of me being a baseball coach, if you think I'm not gonna have like advanced sabermetrics to set my lineup, you're dead wrong. I'm like, they have a lefty going today, so we're running out this lineup.
I'm sorry, Luke. I just don't pay for past performance. Sorry, no Snickers for you this week. You have to earn it every week. I don't give you Snickers in advance.
You get an orange wedge. That's fine.
Yeah, an orange wedge. Luke doesn't want an orange wedge. Meanwhile, you got diabetic Tony at the end of the bench just housing Snickers that his mom's sneaking him.
Like some dad's gonna be like, "Why is my kid batting eighth?" I'll be like, "Well, the facts say his WOBA against lefties is just not acceptable." Like, he's running into terrible outs on the base paths. I don't know what you want from me. The numbers don't lie.
My dad was a T-ball coach who got kicked out of a game, but one of his brilliant strokes was that. So you remember how T-ball worked with the pitcher? There was a fake pitch and then you swing. Well, a coach went out to talk to his team twice in the same inning, and my dad was like, "You got to pull the pitcher." And coach is like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "It's in the rule book. You can't go talk to the pitcher twice in an inning."
Yeah.
So even in T-ball, he had to change the pitcher. Next play, kid hits it right back to the pitcher. Wasn't his usual pitcher. Didn't know what to do with it. We won the game.
It's amazing. See, I would do that exact same thing. That's why there's rules, man.
It was in the rules.
Kids have to know that rules are there for a reason.
I mean, so they say coaches don't win games.
Oh, he won that game for you.
He won that game. He won us that game.
Yeah, it's a savvy play. Now the right fielder's playing pitcher, and you know he can't field anything. That's why he's in right field.
In T-ball, we had a kid take a piss in the outfield while the game was going on. Jeff Best.
That's amazing.
Didn't even turn away.
He didn't turn away.
No.
Did he do the thing? Did he do the thing where he dropped his pants all the way to his ankles?
No, he didn't.
I saw a kid last week at the farmer's market in Madison, pants to the ankles, peeing on a tree, like a 3-year-old. And I was like, dude, this is like on the Capitol building. Maybe he was peeing on Scott Walker symbolically, which in that case,
yeah, he was like, "I hate right to work." Pro-union house.
Maybe that's what was going on, but I don't know. This is actually a bit of fun list, I thought. Hey, if you listen, thanks for listening once again. You should like us on Facebook if you haven't. You probably have if you're listening, but if you haven't, you should. You know what else you should do is tell your friends. Maybe share it on Facebook. That would be cool. You can follow us on Twitter at First of the Worst. You can follow Brendan at Shy_Murph. Follow me at Arendas. And yeah, subscribe to us on iTunes. Please write us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. That would be fantastic if you could do that. And if you have any ideas for us, you can post them on our Facebook page or email them to us at firstoftheworst@gmail.com.
Yeah. Thanks so much for listening, guys. We will catch you next week.
All right, man. Later.